Hello everybody and welcome back to Nat One. It's Monday, we're playing Witchlight and here we are, the party are finally in Yon itself. Yon proper. Yon, the mountains of Yon. The thundery, lightningy mountains. They are barren, bare and horrible. Everything's dead here, as you can see from all the trees and stuff like that. There's also a lot of shadowy creatures going on, especially when they were travelling between hither. Through the fogs, through the mountainous fogs, or the foggy mountains. Had a few combats with some shadowy things, and here they've arrived. And as they're on this side of this mountain here, the last thing that I sort of narrated was them encountering these three strange-looking people. Figures standing on top of the outcrop of rock, outlined against the stormy sky. One is a slender female elf, wearing a crescent moon mask, and the other is a 3-foot-tall dandelion with a small rapier strapped to its stem. A honeybee, the size of an orange, buzzes around the dandelion's bright yellow head. And the elf is the first to notice you, and she points in your direction. You can't quite see her facial expression as it's hidden behind this mask, but the dandelion does draw its rapier, assumes a defensive pose, and the honeybee buzzes more loudly as it flies in circles around the two of them. And you see the dandelion, like, sort of prod forth with his rapier and say, "Stand down! Have at ye!"
The dandelion does that?
Yeah.
Wait, we're friendly? If you are you friendly?
Friendly? He sort of looks around and he says, "Yes, are you friendly?"
Yeah? Are you friendly?
"Yes." Are
Well, great.
you friendly?
Yeah, I'm friendly. Are you?
Or is thou a scoundrelly knave? He tilts his head and he has no face because he is a dandelion. He looks a little bit like suspicious as he does hover his rapier back into the, like puts it back before he fully puts it into its container, whatever it's called. Scabbard, that's the one. He's like holding it there, ready to put it back in.
I'm neither knave nor jackanape. I'm Archie. These are my friends.
He sort of looks up to Gleam, which is the name of the other elf, I'm just gonna say it. He looks up to his elven friend, and she looks a bit like, sort of, like, confused to see people here. And you see her sort of, like, acrobat away down this sort of outcropping of rock. She, like, does, like, a full, like splits cartwheel, rolls down off here, and she sort of comes over to have an inspection of you. And she says, "Oh, how quaint. Are those relics from the Witchlight Carnival?" she says, looking at Flopsy and Holland's equipment. Especially the mace.
Have you been before?
Yes, I used to work there. I was an acrobat with my sister.
Flopsy just looks a bit dumbfounded. How long ago? What's your name, sorry?
Oh, my name is Gleam. I'm not sure if you would remember. It's rather a long time ago. But you are from the... You look to be from the carnival, right? She's very certain about this, considering the things that you, like, have. Like, especially Holland's mace. But she presumes it's all of you.
Is there any chance I would have heard the name Gleam before mentioned at the carnival?
Roll a history check.
$13. Oh, I'm not even rolling as Flopsy.
When you recall, you probably would recall a very, very long ago, like, childhood memory of when you sort of first got there. And that childhood memory is of someone saying like something like, "Hey, you remember those acrobats?" And Mr. Light being like, "Should we don't talk about that?"
Okay.
Mm.
Yes, I've been working at the carnival for quite some time now. I run my own food store there.
Oh, how lovely. That's amicable, I suppose. Don't you perform?
Well, I perform a little bit at the same time, but mostly I just captivate crowds into cupcake eating.
Hmm.
I recently did start running the feasting orchard, though, so I am in charge of performances there.
The feasting orchard. She ponders on that for a moment. Hmm. She looks to be a little bit like coy about that, like as though it's not as important as the big top. You know, like, okay, all right then, okay, sound off king, sort of thing. You get the impression that she's a little bit like proud of what she does. But also there's like a, when you actually look past this crescent moon mask that she's wearing there, you can see that through the sort of like holes in the mask's eyes, she does have these quite strange, sort of like dark eyes, which seem to like lack an air of like sort of strength to them. You know, like they're a bit airy fairy, that they're a bit loose and distant.
Hmm.
Well, if you're interested in the big attractions, I bet you'll never guess where Holland used to work.
Oh, enlighten me, do.
Oh, no,
What?
no, guess. I'm
Um,
sorry if Holland was actually going to answer that.
I'm not accustomed to guessing games. I don't know. The teapot. Is that still there?
Well, close. Like, well, like geographically, you're close. I work on the carousel.
Oh, the carousel. That's still there. That was old and rickety when I was there myself. I'm rather.
Well, it's not anymore.
Is
I
it?
fixed it up.
Oh, really? Now that is
Yeah.
yes, that is more impressive. Oh, the
Well,
carousel.
hold on.
Mm.
More impressive
Mm.
than running the whole feasting orchard.
Well, the feasting orchard was merely a field within which one picnicked.
And where would be more grandiose than the feasting orchard to picnic?
Well, it was mere field and with flowers in it, sure. Nothing more, nothing less. But the carousel, it's a structure. It's has perfectly carved ornate unicorns, magical ones at that. What's so special about a field?
Well, just as the horses on the carousel are carefully crafted, all of the picnic treats in the feasting orchard are as carefully crafted, if not more.
Mm. But the customers bring their own food to the feasting orchard.
Oh, they can do, but not any. You have never seen my feasting orchard. All of the stalls from outside have been brought inside now. They run the perimeter of the feasting orchard around the stage, so you have
The
something
stage?
to.
There's a stage
Was
at the
there not a
feasting
stage
orchard.
on the?
Oh, that's
Did
wild.
you not have a stage when you were there?
Oh, I do apologise. No, I remember it to be just a field.
Oh well, I'm happy to say it's much better than what you remember.
Oh, very interesting. No, it was just like a fenced-off area where people would bring their own blankets and food and sit and eat. Didn't realise
No.
they did
Well,
upgraded it that much.
if you go back one day, then the best view to have of the orchard is from the stage. Maybe you could perform once again.
Or that would be rather difficult, considering this sort of, like, cocky, like, sort of proud air sort of breaks a little bit. Like, her demeanour sort of cuts, but then she sort of gathers herself again. Yes, that would be very hard to do. I hate to admit it, but I'm not exactly talented without my sister. It's a twin thing. You probably wouldn't understand.
I know what twins are.
Have you met twins before? Are you a twin? She looks hopeful.
I don't think so. Wouldn't that be cool, though?
Oh, that would be cool. I don't think I've met twins before. Not real ones, anyway. There are many people who duplicate themselves and things, but not birth twins that were quite unique in our, career as performers. Acrobats.
If you don't mind me asking, what happened to your sister?
She sort of, like, darkly looks over to the big castle on the mountaintop. And, she says, she's been kept, and we were both taken from the carnival. I'm not quite sure why, but this creepy old woman with no face, just like a skull. She coerced us into coming to her theatre under the guise that it would be one of the greatest performances we will ever take part in. And when we were standing together, she almost convulsed, and it was a very awful sight. It was almost like seeing us together made her ill. I don't know why. Maybe she's just allergic to twins or something, I'm not sure. But she then decided to keep Glister on, who is my sister. And then she banished me, and before doing so, and then this huge, like, sort of, like, clatter of thunder and lightning just slashes across the sky. And as it lights everything up, it sort of blooms in, like, her face and all of your faces as well. And everybody casts, like, shadows along the ground in different directions, considering the placement of the lightning, but she casts none. And she's like, It's almost like she just did it on purpose. She's mocking me now. Thank you, she calls up to the sky. Thank you for that. I don't need to be reminded about the fact that I don't have my shadow anymore. We used to make excellent shapes with the lights. We had excellent lights at the carnival. I'm not sure if you still have those. The shadows were part of the routine. And mine's been removed.
Where did it go?
I have no idea. She's snipped it off. She's got this pair of magical scissors. And just took it.
Maybe we could find it and sew it back on.
Perhaps, if that's even possible. I'm not sure. If she's got magical scissors, I doubt she has magical thread. She's quite accustomed to removing shadows from others and using them to do her bidding. As I've figured out since being here, which doesn't seem to be a very long time, but you're telling me that if you, she looks at Flopsy, who looks quite old, have been there a while and don't remember me, or, well, I don't remember you, and the feasting orchard seems to have been, all that. I feel like I've been here a couple of days, but it seems I've probably been here longer. Yes, I'm not sure. Also, Holland and Flopsy, you do recall the shadow of her, like, easily. You don't have to roll for history for this. You know what she's talking about. The shadow is an agent of Enderlin, just like the pig-faced girl was for Scabatha, just like the little lawnlings are for Bavlorna.
Thought maybe it was her sister that was the agent.
Oh no, this is a solid woman in front of you. This is an elven woman.
What type of elf is she?
She is a high elf.
Moon elf.
No, a high elf.
Yeah, high elves
yeah.
are sun elves and moon elves.
Yeah, she's got a... Well, they're both related, so... Like, they're literally twins.
Yeah.
And perhaps you just think that it's part of their design of their costumes. It's not inherent in their race.
Oh, okay.
There are some things taken by Bendelin that we're planning to get back. So when we do that, we can try and find your shadow. I'm sure there'll be some way of putting you two back together again.
So you... Oh, and she's like, something just comes across her mind all of a sudden, and she says, "Oh, are you here for Hurley, the bugbear?"
Really?
Oh yes, he was taken.
Here?
Yes, he was taken as well. He's been very morbidly unhappy since his arrival. Yes, he also used to work for Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, as I do believe. He's from the carnival.
Yeah, we know his brother, Burley.
Oh, he does not shut up about him. He's just in absolute despair to be without him, as obviously we would have spoken about that, considering we have that in common. We have our siblings who we care for very much.
Is very much the same. He's inconsolable. I can't believe that everything's just coming together in the same place. Well, we need to get Clapperclaw. Now that Hurley's there, we need to get him. May I ask something? The three of you, were standing on the rock there. It looks as if you're on a lookout. Is there anything in particular you're looking out for?
Oh no, we were in fact we were just and then you see the dandelion sort of shout down and go, "We were escaping from a beholder." And
beholder?
the bee sort of like buzzes around him. "This beholder tried to take my love of my life, Pollinella." And Pollinella buzzes happily around him.
No, you're a match made in Jan.
We were in fact a match made in the Palace of Heart's Desire. Ah, that's
Where are
where
you
we
now?
did live, in the gardens.
Ah. Well, that's nice. Well, I'll tell you what. If we see any beholders, we'll hold them off.
He sort of laughs a little bit, like with his little petals chuckle around, and he's like, "You'll be hard pressed, my young. Excuse me, what are your pronouns?"
She, he.
"My young madam, sir, you'll be hard pressed to beat this beholder, as I have had to nimbly escape on my two stems." And he looks at his legs and he flexes them around like his little two stem legs.
Well, I have a system to these things, you see. I like to press to impress.
One does hope you speak the truth.
And only the truth.
Pray tell, are you able to, he, like, sort of looks around this barren landscape, offer a bit of catering or anything like that? And Gleam sort of like tuts and rolls her eyes, and she says, I do believe he's asking if you're able to produce any sort of food or, in particular, water, because he is parched. He's been complaining about it this whole time.
That's Aerith. Aerith's just kind of been looking at everybody and smiling, and especially she's been ogling that talking flower. Like, it's the most cutest thing in the world. And she's like, I have a water skin. Will that do it?
Oh,
Wait, I have this bottle of bubble tea.
oh, how chivalrous of all of you. He's going to, like, very carefully shimmy his way down, and as he walks down, he, like, gets a bit caught in these brambles. His little long stem legs are like, oh. And he jumps down. The bee follows him. And he comes over to you, and he says, I do have this rather impressive petal. You see he's got so many, and he just plucks one from his head and hands it out to you. It will protect you in the darkest times.
Who are they handing it to?
He's just holding it outstretched to anyone who's going to give him some water. You can see when you get a bit closer that the tips of his sort of petals and the one in his hand looks a little bit furled and sort of dry.
Oh, we'll both give him something to drink.
Yeah.
We'll give him
Yeah, he's going to give you a petal each. And this is a very unique single-use item, so you can just call it the dandelion petal or whatever, or just petal. And what it will do is give you a +2 to your AC for 1 minute when you eat it.
When you eat it.
Yeah.
Why, thank you.
Thank you so much. What's your name again, little guy?
Oh, pardon me. My name is Amidor. You have to roll the R at the end.
What is it again? I completely forgot as soon as you said.
It's Amidor.
Amidor.
Oh yes, you must.
Amidor.
One must roll the R at the end.
Amador.
Wow, that was practically a purr, Aerith.
Was it? Did I do it right?
Yes, Amidor.
Purring like a dandelion. I don't know why Archie's got all the puns today. It's just what me and Amidor does.
Oh, and you said this little guy's been bothering you, right?
No. That's his beloved.
Oh.
It's the bee holder, the person who holds the bees.
Oh.
This is my true love, Pollinella.
Hi, Pollinella.
Pollinella just bees around happily.
How do you know if someone's your true love?
He tilts his head towards Pollinella, and you look at Pollinella and she's literally like the epitome of like a Minecraft bee. She's literally so cute. She's got like cute little like red cheeks, like massive huge anime eyes. Her like sort of wings like rustle like real like almost like a purr themselves. And she just dives straight into like his head of petals and just rummages around in there, and she like snuggles up to him and stuff like that, and he rubs his head against her and stuff, and he says, "Oh, I'm not sure how one would test that. I just think it just happens."
I think they give you a warm, buzzy feeling.
He immediately points like one of his long tendrily sort of like stem fingers towards you as though like, yes, that's correct. I do wish to spend my entire life with my Pollinella.
Aww.
You two are adorable.
Oh, thank you.
And you, Gleam, you said your name was?
Yes, my name is Gleam. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm sorry I've not asked your names. She puts her hand out to shake.
Aerith grabs it with both hands and very eagerly shakes it, bouncing up and down. I'm Aerith. Nice to meet you.
Aerith. Oh, what a nice name. And you are? To Archie.
I'm Archie.
Pleasure. And who's this fine gentleman? She looks over at Ooglay. Ooglay's just gonna like stare directly at her, just side eyes Flopsy and Holland. Oh, he seems to be a bit shy.
This here is Ugle. He's a good friend of ours, a recent friend, but a good friend. He helped us get this far.
Pleasure. And yourselves? As soon as she gets a bit closer, she like inhales a little bit, and she's like, "Goodness, don't take offence to this, but I can practically smell the carnival on you. It's just making me feel a bit nostalgic."
I couldn't take offence to that. It's something I'm quite proud of after the time we've spent here.
Mm.
I'm Flopsy Le Pouce, cupcake extraordinaire. Shake
Cupcakes.
around.
Oh. And the young one?
I'm Holland, and well, to be honest, it's great to hear that I still smell of the carnival, because like a few days ago I was all up in Bevlorna's swamp, and you know, I haven't had a bath since then, so I'm glad it's still there.
Oh, goodness me, it looks like Amidor is not the only one who needs some water. Pleasure to meet you. And you? Octavia's just been like staring the whole time at this amazingly attractive girl. She's like, she just sort of like wipes her hands, which were a bit dirty from like sort of like all of the pulling the strings of the bow and stuff. Like she's just like wiping the dust and things, and she's like, sorry, I'm Octavia. I'm just here. I'm not from the carnival. And she's like, of course. Well, it's nice to meet you all. Yes, what are you doing in Yon? You did say you were here to get something lost, but it seemed that you were surprised to hear about Hurley.
Right, we're looking for, I mean, maybe you've seen it around. We're looking for a unicorn horn.
A unicorn's horn? That's,
Yeah,
detached from the unicorn?
right, it belongs to a friend of mine.
That sounds awful.
Yeah.
I know who has it. Well, we all know who has it, but I know what they look like.
Well, perhaps if you give the description, I'll tell you if I've seen them before.
I describe Skyla. It spaces my head at the moment.
You describe Skylar, who is a woman who wears like an all-black sort of coat. I can give her a little handout if you want. Where is she?
She's like a goth.
Let's see. Skylar.
Kind of looks like Endolin, but more alive, you know? There we go.
She's got like lightning powers and like a weird skull on her head. And she's got like some hoop earrings.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not like want to talk out against women, but you know what they say, the bigger the hoop. And she wasn't very nice.
Hey, you know, now that you mention it, didn't Will tell us something about that?
Right, that's how I know who she is.
Yeah,
We've not seen her ever since.
Yeah, Aerith is the only person who's actually seen Skylar in real life. Everyone else has only heard about her through Will. Octavia hasn't heard about her or seen her, but through you all talking about her, she gets an idea of who she is.
Yeah.
Gleam sort of like thinks about it for a minute, and she says, "Oh no, I don't believe I have seen anybody of that description. Are you sure she's here?"
Nope.
Well, you can never be too certain. But, you know, if it's possible, and it's probable, then it might just be the case.
Well, what gives you the impression that she's in Yon?
It's the only place we haven't looked.
Well, she's not hither and she's not thither. Ergo, she must be yon.
Okay. She looks a bit confused at you, as though you, Archie, might be of the Fae, because she's not. Like, she doesn't understand the weird cryptic way that people speak. So she looks as out of pocket as anyone not from the Feywild would look when dealing with a Fae. Yeah. Okay, I suppose that's some sort of logic, isn't it? I don't want to offend you.
Oh, I don't take any offense.
Amidor's like, well, it sounds perfectly acceptable to me.
Right? This guy gets it.
I like the way you talk.
What,
Yeah.
Amidor?
No, Gleam.
Oh, Gleam. Thank you. I she's just looking really confused as to, like, she's just being normal. She's literally just being normal.
I have a question. Well, you might not have heard of whoever it was we were just talking about. But I do have a question. I mean, you know, there's this person. Your name's Gleam, and there's this person called Charm who works around here. Is there any sort of connection there?
Yes, I've heard of Charm. Charm kind of unsettles me. I see sort of coming in and out of Motherhorn. When I was there briefly, she was sort of skulking in and out. She often just approaches the hag, I believe, that she's a hag. Does everyone else know that she's a hag? Because I don't want to speak out of turn, but that's my theory. She's literally don't have a clue.
Charm? A hag? No, she works for a hag.
No, that's what I mean. She would approach the skull-faced woman, speak to her in hushed tones, and then skulk off again. And I do believe she's some sort of, perhaps an agent, or, you know, she doesn't stick around very often.
Yeah.
Oh, you seem kind of down. Is your twin the sun and you're the moon?
Oh, yes.
Oh, that makes sense.
I have something that might actually cheer you up.
Well, I hope it's my sister you've got in your pocket.
Well, no, but I have something to remind you of her until we go get her back.
She kind of looks at you as though you're very new, like you're really young, which you are. And she says, I don't want to sully your attempt at making me cheerful. However, I don't believe that anything that reminds me of her is only going to make me sadder. That
So
I don't have her with me.
Is that why you hang around this guy? Point to Amidor. I don't remember his name.
No, sorry, I bumped into him when he was running away from the beeholder. Well, he would call it a beeholder. In fact, it's a cyclops. I'm pretty sure.
A cyclops.
If you're from prime material, you'll understand that a beeholder is something totally different. He's not sure.
Yeah, it's like
I don't think he's ever seen
like a
beeholder.
guy who has like a weird sort of net over his face, and a large hat. Keeps all covered up.
Yes,
plays with bees.
But he's a cyclops and very large indeed. If you were to see him, his head would protrude over the mountaintops. He's extremely tall and very imposing. Yeah.
Oh, she looks around. Does she see him?
No, not even with your passive. Yes,
Well, he's not here, thankfully.
Yes, she was running away from him. He seemed very upset to have lost his queen bee.
Pollinella?
Yes. And Amidor's like, yes, my queen. He like.
Oh, I didn't realize I was talking to royalty. And Archie bows.
Aerith also bows with Archie.
She just rolls around in his petals for a while and just sort of raises a little leg and just waves it at you coyly, yes, that's me.
Aww.
My queen, Pollinella. And they smooch. It's gross. Gleam's just stood there, sort of. Yeah, so that's how I bumped into him, and that's all he wanted to do was save Polynella, and that's what he's done. And then
He
he's
did
like,
a great job of it.
and we shall return to the Palace of Hot Desire's gardens. But I don't think we can grow very well in there, considering. Seems that all of time has stopped.
Oh yeah.
Well, our plans do take us to the palace, I believe. Would you know how to get there from here?
Me? Amidor?
Yes, you. If you lived in the garden, you'd be able to navigate from here to the palace.
But of course! Well, that is where I am from.
That's wonderful. Instead of going right now, would you be able to guide us once we have everything we need? We might be able to make the garden more inhabitable for you again.
Well, that does sound like the perfect trade-off. Perfect. Yes. Deal. He's going to come over and shumble his way over to you. And as he does, the bee sticks in his head, like stays in his little thing, and he extends his stem out to you. He has, no, fingers. He's just got a long piece of stem.
Flopsy shakes the stem enthusiastically.
What an excellent deal.
And as for you, looking at Gleam, I had an idea, but I wouldn't want to risk Amidor and the Queen, Your Majesty. But, Gleam, the few of us from Witchlight Carnival have somehow managed to find ourselves rather adept at taking on the perils of Prismia right now. And it might sound like we are unknowingly, childly wandering through and with our heads full of hopes, but we have actually done quite considerable good in hither and thither. Do you think, in order to get your sister back and your shadow back, you'd want to join us?
She thinks about it for a minute, and she says, I'm not sure how my banishment from the Motherhorn castle will... I don't know how that's going to work. I haven't tried to go back there since she banished me. Yes, she's just thinking about it, and she's not said yes or no. She's just worrying about how that will work.
So she can simply banish you from the area? I may be mistaken. I thought banishment spells just moved you away from the area temporarily. I didn't know they would stop you from coming back.
Oh, I don't believe that it's a spell. I think it's something she can just do. I'm not sure. I know that since being here, there was some overheard talks of rules of hospitality and things like that. But yes, what's the word? I don't believe it's a spell. I think that my sister's offensive nature perhaps offended her, and maybe that sort of what's the word? Invalidated the hospitality thing. I'm not sure. She was able to take my shadow away from me, and she was able to kick me out, and I'm not sure how she did that.
Why would she be so offended?
The very fact of our existence, of standing next to each other or being together.
So she doesn't like twins.
I mean, Glister is my other half. She's part of me, and we're like a sort of yin-yang. I'm not sure if you know about that.
I've never heard of that before.
It's where
But
there are sort of things that might not be very compatible, but for some reason work. And almost like we were born at the same time, and we've been through the same things, and we have a lot of the same mental thoughts. We have a lot in common, but we are also thematically different. And I like the soft darkness of night and the light of the moon, and she's very outgoing and fiery, I would say.
Do you remember that, like, the carousel unicorns were, like, magic and talky and kind of sassy?
I do remember those, yes.
Well, I don't know if this is, like totally far out, but one time the unicorns told us that the hag that stole Flopsy's her he's just fucking hang on.
Let me just hold this snapdragon.
I need to get my thoughts in order. So, there's 3 hags.
Okay.
And one of them lives up there. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, so she is a hag. My theory is correct.
I think so, because
wonderful.
the unicorns said that the hag that stole Flopsy's sense of fashion, who is Endelin, she is scared of eclipses because she's gonna die during an eclipse. And you say that you're a moon and your sister's a sun? That might be far out, but I'm just saying.
wait,
I do remember those unicorns being incredibly wise. Perhaps that is the reason why.
They were a bit mean, well, but,
But wait, there's no eclipse here. There's no sun.
There is no sun or moon in the sky.
There's not even a moon. Are there even stars? I can't see any at this point in time.
It is utterly black, pitch black. There's nothing except lightning and clouds.
It's like a weird, I don't know, like a liminal space. If she can only die in an eclipse, then surely that means she can't die. But if that would make her super confident. But if she's afraid of, like, the two of you being together, maybe it doesn't even have to be a real eclipse. Like, maybe just the sun and the moon, like the moon crossing over the sun, like just in a symbolic representation. Maybe that makes her, like, able to be killed.
Well, yes, I do believe that's what your young friend was saying. Perhaps the existence
I didn't get that.
Perhaps the existence of myself and my sister representing, if we were to cross in our acrobatic performance, that would weaken her or something. I'm not sure. What, did she believes she will die during an eclipse?
Yeah, well, I believe the word the unicorns used was foreseen. So she thinks that that's how she'll die. I mean, maybe it's not true. Maybe a gust of wind will knock her over. But, that's what she thinks.
Perhaps. I've never thought about it that way. Oh, well, yes, it's... I just thought it was down to the strange ways of the Fae. No offence, Amidor. But, yes, that makes a lot of sense. She's a very powerful woman and does not wish to be thwarted, then anything that would get in her way will obviously be cast asunder. She looks a bit more annoyed at that she's been separated from her sister for such a, like, sort of tyrannical reason.
So, could we then, if it can be something, like, metaphorical, then surely, I use a load of sun, like with my mace I can make it bright and I could be like a sun, and then someone could be my moon, and then she's got a whole new eclipse to deal with, and then, she's weak again.
Do you think she might be scared of this? And I pull out the 12-inch like marionette that's part half sun and half moon.
Where were you hiding that?
Yeah.
It was in Scabby Babby's place.
Oh, and she had it there to like prank her or something?
I don't know, but
Maybe she was planning on killing her.
It was in there. I was gonna give this to you, Gleam, but you said it wouldn't make you feel any better. So, do you think it might? Did any of you guys think it might have an effect?
Maybe. I mean, like, if it's only foreseen, then maybe she'll just get scared if she sees something like related to the sun and the moon.
That's what I think. I think we gotta throw a whole bunch of eclipses at her. From all different angles.
And then she doesn't know where to run. And she'll just like stand in the middle if we get like all around her, and she'll just explode, I guess.
Gleam, you've seen inside of this theatre that she lives in, haven't you?
Yes. It's very impressive.
Can you see the sky from inside?
It is possible, yes. There is a sort of an open-topped theatre with... I'm not sure if there's some sort of force field around it and something like that.
Because if we all have these small metaphors, these approximations of eclipses that would scare her towards looking at the sky, if I can catch her in a momentary lapse of judgment, I could put the image of an eclipse in mind. She would see a real eclipse for all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if we needed to make her run outside, but if we could do it inside, then all the better.
By Jove, Flopsy, that's a wonderful idea.
It's going to need to be the performance of a lifetime, but we could do it.
Well, maybe that could be the diversion.
Ooh, okay. So, Flopsy, you make Endolin see a big, bad, scary eclipse. Holland, you do that funny little moonwalk and run Wittershins around Bavlorna, and let's scab at this thing.
Also, Holland, be a kid, I guess.
We're putting a lot on you, Holland, but we believe in you.
Oh, I had to unmute so you knew how funny I found that. Yep. This is the humidity in Yarn. I just can't talk. Well,
where's your voice gone?
The thing that the unicorn said to me was that, like, when they were like, yo, there's this hag that's stolen your sense of creativity. By the way, she sleeps in a dollhouse and can't remember the first creature she sees when she wakes up. I was like, what are you talking about? And they were like, shut up and listen. And then, they're always a bit, like, brutal like that,
Wait, so maybe, like, if someone... So she can't see the first person she sees? Did you say? Am I getting that right?
When she wakes up, yeah.
So I guess maybe, like, when she's sleeping, someone just goes up to her and is like, wakey, wakey, and then she sees us, and then, like... And then we just don't have to worry about it. Because she can't see us.
Was it more that she can't remember the first person she sees, or that she just can't see them?
Well, what the unicorns told me exactly is that she sleeps in a dollhouse and can't remember the first creature she sees when she wakes up.
Right, so it's not exactly invisibility, because that plan's quite brazen, Archie. don't think
Yeah.
that would work.
She'll just like wake up in the morning and she'll be like, well, today I saw Archie and I saw Scabatha, and wait, which one did I see first? And she just won't be able to figure it out.
Or maybe it's like if you go in the room, well, I don't know how you'd go in the dollhouse, but like if you were like up against the window and she woke up and looked at you, if you just stop moving, she'd be like, huh, nothing there, and just go back to sleep.
No, yeah.
Jurassic Park style.
I don't know what that means, but yeah. I mean, I'm sure we could figure out some way to work that in there. But yeah.
Well, what with all of the sun and the moon things that we need for Enderlin, I'd feel a lot better if you were with us. I don't know if you would be able to cross the threshold into the theatre or anything like that, but we could probably find a way around it. If you were willing to join us, that is.
Well, I do wish to do anything I can to get my sister back. Of course. She looks a bit like scared because like she's been there and seen how scary it is. Yeah, you can just see that from her reaction. It looks to be probably a bigger mission than you could possibly imagine. Yeah, she looks very, what's the word, apprehensive about it all. But she's agreed, yeah.
Well, your knowledge is also indispensable because, one, you know where it is, and we currently don't, and you could probably fill us in on what it's like there, how big it is, how many people, just the thing you saw while you were there. Flopsy implies that she can do that on the walk, so you don't have to do a big expo dump if you don't want.
Yeah. Just give me... Yeah, just give me a second, I'll pay my stars.
So anyway, Holland, I heard your voice get deeper there. Are you hitting puberty?
Well, I'm glad you finally asked. I've been experiencing a lot of changes this campaign, and I need someone to talk to about it.
Yeah.
And I figure, since you're using he/him pronouns now, you can help me out.
Yeah, sure, boys talk, I guess. I know all about this stuff.
So, how far is my voice gonna drop, and can I catch it?
It's gonna drop all the way to the floor.
Oh. What if I just pretend it's higher than it is?
Well, yeah, you can sort of like pull it back up, but like then you'll just talk normally and it'll be at the floor, so you've always got to be talking just a little bit higher.
I will just do a falsetto.
Well, I don't know. I think a truth setto is always a little bit better because it's better to be truthful.
You blew my mind there. You rizzed me with that one.
I didn't just blew your mind. I read it too.
that one not so much.
Jesus Christ.
Well, you know, all this talk of the unicorns is reminding me of my time at the carnival. By Jove, I miss Skek so much. And also, does anyone think it's weird that it's been like years and years and years for Gleam, but Hurley only went missing a few days ago in our timeline? Also, my favourite unicorn was Moss, and Flopsy's favourite was Fortune.
My
So how
favorite
about that?
unicorn.
That is true. I like Fortune.
My favorite unicorn's Lamorna.
Lamorna. I hardly know her. Hey,
I like
remember
Eladrin,
remember when Honeymint had a crush on Winston and vice versa?
Aerith's kind of just watching y'all and just smiling and nodding.
Aerith seems to remember. I don't know
I
who these
have
people
no
are.
idea what you're talking about. I'm just glad to be here.
Hey, you guys remember Oswald?
Who's Oswald?
Hey, you guys remember Ayla?
Wow. I wonder if ALR. I don't know ALR.
Hey,
Oh,
you
it'd be
remember
lovely if you could
Felix?
meet Ayla.
How many
Felix,
people were
who's
in
that?
this group before I came along?
I get a feeling. We never found Felix's chicken. That would have been a nice present for him to come back to, but...
Do you think this Felix person is ever gonna make themselves... Oh wait, is Felix like your imaginary friend?
I'm starting to think so. But no, he can be. He gave me this orb.
Well, on Winter Eladrin's day? I mean, it
No,
might not have been...
he just whipped it out his pocket and gave it to me at one time when he landed in the carnival.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Is it possible for other people to see someone's imaginary friends?
Maybe.
Mass hysteria.
That's not conclusive proof then, because I have seen Felix.
Okay.
I mean...
Just information that you know about Mother Horn, just really quickly, as Gleam. Well, we're not going to do it all, whatever. Basically, it's obviously this huge, like, ominous grey sort of citadel-style mountaintop castle. It's the actual theatre itself is in an open courtyard with a sort of glass orb around the whole thing, with like a sort of metal encasing sort of frame to it. The towers of the castle are almost like they're made from the jutting stone itself that have been sort of carved into the stone and hollowed out. But the actual bottom front-facing frame of it looks like a typical medieval castle, which is quite strange. But the bottom of it doesn't seem to like attach to anything at all. It's just sheer. Like, so like the walls, you see like there's like 4 turrets on either side with like walls with those crenellations and like ramparts and things. Then it's a sheer drop all the way down with like a sort of wooden Game of Thrones style like rickety fucking lift that takes you all the way up there, which is made purely of like rotting wood. She'll tell you that nearby is parked a storm cloud sort of hot air balloon. Like a large balloon made of a bulging rain cloud, which you do remember seeing in Hither. I think everyone except Aerith would remember seeing that in Hither. So that's sort of tethered to a balcony nearby, and she tells you that it's a sort of merchant's stall balloon, like travelling merchants of... she thinks that they're a sort of like... They look a bit like drow, but they aren't drow. She's not quite sure of what kind of species they are. But that's all the information that she really knows about the outside of it. As for the inside, she's not very aware of the whole working of the castle itself. She essentially got taken to the main performance area, and as soon as Enderlin like sort of laid eyes on her, she was like, no, no, I'm not having this. So yeah, and she remembered that she was taken by like shadows of multiple species styles, not just goblin shadows or like when you saw the banshee before. All of these people you get the impression that people have been separated from their bodies in some way, whether that be in the form of a banshee, in the form of a shadow, in the form of whatever else. Like, you've been clipped from either your soul or your shadow or whatever. And she remembers it being a sort of shadow of like an elven man who took her. And these shadows are very stoic, don't really have any emotions or anything. But they all seem to be operating under her control. She's not aware of the other hags being there either, because she's escaped since. Sorry, she's escaped before that happened.
So are we traveling there, or is she explaining us, like...
I guess she's sort of, like, moving along through...
yeah.
So
as we
this can all be
travel,
done as you're
I'm just
walking.
gonna...
Yeah.
Yeah, well, as we're traveling, I'm gonna pop up my locate object, and I'm going to locate the unicorn's horn.
What's the range on that?
So, the range on that is, I believe it's 1,000 feet. I will just double check that though. I am just checking now. Yeah, 1,000 feet of me, and it lasts for 10 minutes. So,
right, nothing's flashing up for you yet. Yeah, 1,000 feet is much too. You imagine that the castle is about 15 miles away, which in feet would be 79,000 feet. 79,200
yeah, but it could be anywhere.
Yeah, it could be, but you're not seeing anything as of now. But what you do notice is, as you're sort of walking along this sort of... It's a very steep mountainside, and you've found this pathway to walk along. To your right is this very, very, very steep, rocky outcropping. And in the distance, I'd say about 200-300 feet away, along the top, like almost like a shelf that's really, really high up, of just one of these random mountains. Like, this isn't just like one big mountain with the castle at the top of it. This is mountainous region. And on the mountain to your right, about 400 feet away, upon a shelf, you see a sort of what's the word? Procession of red-capped gnomes.
Oh shit!
They're holding these torches as they sort of like trudge, like, you know, sort of like in Wizard of Oz, where it's like, as they're walking along, and the flickering of the torchlight sort of shines these huge shadows along the walls that then transform into shadows that aren't theirs. You get the impression that Scabatha's minions and Enderlin's minions are sort of working together to look around for people. What do you do whilst they're processioning along? They've not noticed you yet, but they are sort of coming towards... How far away
is their procession?
About 300-400 feet away, but high up on a ledge above you. So, like, imagine where you are now, like, go about, like, say... I'd say about 200-300 feet up, and then 300-400 feet away from you. So it's like in the distance. Like, if you were to outstretch your arm and then put your fingers like 3 inches apart, that's sort of like how far away they look. You know, like that's the height of one of them. To your right, so like northeast direction. Very, very high up. You can only just make out the fact that they've got fucking red caps, because you can't see their full bodies, because obviously the angle at which you're looking at the side of the mountain. They're on their own path, high above you, walking in your not your direction directly to you, but they're sort of walking in a in a easternly direction, as if they're going to go southeast. I'm using my arms here to sort of, like, I hope you all are too.
I'd literally had my arm up in the air then.
Yeah.
Back at the carnival, if there was a space, say there was something running the big top, you'll probably remember this as well, Gleam. We would have entrances around the back that were just for the cast members, staff members, anybody who was a hand in the carnival. Do you reckon that Enderlin's base would maybe have the same.
A secret entrance?
Yes, all of those up there, they have to get somehow, and they're probably not going and ringing the doorbell at the front door.
Hmm. Yeah, but I mean, aren't the red caps like Scabatha's minions? Maybe they're not even allowed in the castle.
That is true. Although I think we could probably work on the assumption that the hags have come together now.
Right.
I mean, two
right.
out of three of them know how much of a we've been to them, so they've probably put their petty squabbles aside. I was just thinking it's an idea if we wanted to sneak our way in, perhaps unknown. We could maybe see how they get in.
Hmm. Well, I mean, we're still quite a ways until the castle, so maybe these guys aren't even from there. Maybe they're just like patrolling.
Are there many other?
Gleam says, as far as I'm aware, I know of only one entrance. The one which I took to get in the first place. I'm not sure of anywhere else. The procession sort of like passes by to your east. They're sort of like closer to you now because instead of being like northeast, they're like east. And the side of the mountain, obviously, is very steep, so they're almost like up nearly above you.
If we tuck ourselves into the side of the mountain, would that maybe stop them from seeing us?
Why don't you try?
I will roll our stealth then.
Yes.
I'm gonna pull up the hood right quick.
Okay.
Just to stunt on these hoes.
No. I'm gonna pull Octavia into the side.
Aerith's gonna clunk on over.
Nice. Ugle is also going to stand next to Holland.
Yeah.
And the rest, obviously.
She's literally pulling in
Octavia.
Octavia, and also Polynella and Dandelion.
Okay. We'll just do a group.
Whose name I can't remember.
We'll do a group. Amidor.
Amidor. And Polynella.
Polynella doesn't need to roll a stealth because she can hide within the petals of Amidor and not make any noise.
Like an anemone.
Have we all done stealth checks?
Yeah, I think I have advantage. How do Boots of Elvenkind work?
Boots of Elvenkind do give you advantage, I believe.
Awesome. It's 21.
Okay, so we've got...
Octavia rolls a 5.
Yeah, that's a really good score. You all press your backs against this sort of mountainside, and you hear the like dum 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 marching as they sort of pass overhead. You can even see like in front of you on the ground, the shadow of the mountainside sort of extends outwards as like the glow of the torchlight shines down on the floor. But you seem to be remaining in that shadow anyway, and they pass overhead and end up going southeast away from you. Octavia sort of like huddles up close to you, Archie, and she's like looking up quite nervous. You can see that she's got like a bit of a sweat on because she's really scared, as obviously you know she's got a little sort of self-consciousness going on. And she's like really close, so she looks at you and she's like What happens if we get caught? Like, are they gonna try and kill us?
If we get caught, we won't get caught. Don't worry. We're all super sneaky, you know?
Yeah.
Here, moving closer, and then they'll double not see you. I'm not just gonna, like,
Yeah,
move around then.
she literally like body presses against you. Like
Yeah.
sort of like your back's against the wall, but hers is like she's like pushing you against it. But like she's still looking up. Like her concern remains like looking up to me, well, as they pass, you know. Holland sort of like
Archie's
squidged
just
invisibly
grinning.
next to you.
Ow, you're on my foot!
Oh, sorry, Holland, and she's gonna squidge closer to Archie. Yeah, like your fronts are both pressing against each other. Oogle literally looks like he wants to just fucking vanish off the face of the planet as he's like looking at you he's throwing so much shade. And then you hear fucking Amidor sort of whisper and go, "Ah, you do just know, don't you?" And he winks with one of his petals. And Octavia sort of like looks at him a bit confused.
With a petal.
Yeah, like one of the petals and two petals close. Like,
Archie's just sort of
he
blushing.
has no
at that.
face.
It's just like,
How am I supposed to emote with something that's got no face? Yeah, Gleam sort of
he
like
puts his little leaves on his face, like, ah.
Gleam says, "Well, if we're going back to Motherhorn, that means we have to go the way that we came from Amidor. I wonder if that's going to be clear." Amidor's like, "No need to worry. I'm sure that big lumbering oaf has gone off by now." He doesn't look too confident about that. He's just trying to look like hard in front of Polinella.
Well, I'm sure he won't be able to see us. I mean, you know, look how many eyes we're avoiding right now. He's only got the one.
Ah, but it does see many things, and it's very large. Very large.
Yeah, but if I just shoot him in his eye, then he won't see much, will he?
Good point.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Gleam sort of just starts like making her way towards, just sort of wandering down this pathway. And as you're all sort of walking along, obviously I don't have very many maps, so I'm just gonna say that you're gonna travel for a little while. And yeah, you sort of like walk along, and then it's like Scooby-Doo, and you like find yourself back at the beginning again. And you're like, you sure you've seen these things before? Like, wait, are we going the right way? Like, this looks exactly the same. But Amidor's like, oh yes, I remember. I'm retracing my steps. Oh shit. Oh. I don't know if you've been hearing my rolls every now and then.
Yeah, I just had that.
But
Did you just roll the everybody dies roll?
Do you want to make a little dexterity check? Do you want to make a little dex saving throw?
Oh no.
Do you want to make a
Everyone.
No.
I don't think I.
dex check?
I don't really want to.
Let's just make a little, just tiny little, oh, why?
Holland roll a d4 as well. Lucky footwork.
No. Right, let's make this dex. 17, that's decent. Oh, that's a 10 for you. Oh, Flopsy showing off, are you?
About
Just for
to
the sake, I'll
dodge
do the
lightning,
d4
maybe?
too.
Me.
It's like
Yeah, because you needed that extra 2, Flopsy.
I really needed it.
Yeah.
I wanted to see if I could crack 30.
Okay.
Hmm.
And that
Showing
also
off
means
so hard.
everybody else does too. Oh god. What if everyone just dies now? Oh, thank god. Right. She... My shoulders are, like, scared.
If it's gonna down somebody and it's within my I can still use action to shield somebody, right?
Yeah, because it will be damage. It's the same thing as fireball. Let me just make sure everyone's got the dexes. An
Does that mean
Ooglay.
Polynella gets hit too?
Everybody's gonna get hit.
Fuck.
So in a minute, let me just check this. Octavia, and
No.
okay. Also, all NPCs get death saves. Just to let you know, because it's only creatures that die immediately. I think NPCs should have the same death rights as any other person. So let's have a look here. I mean, Polynella is not exactly fucking.
No, listen, I don't want to be losing Polynella.
Literally. I think. Okay. Polynella is a B. Why did I didn't even roll the duck dice, it was my purple dice. Okay.
Can Polynella have cover from the?
No,
Yeah,
because
because
that only
she's
gives
inside.
AC pluses. It's not a save thing. I think we need to protect Polynella, to be honest, because she. Yeah, you know what? I'll just do it. She's within the leaves of him, so I think it should just be him. Polynella's literally got 1 health point. There's no. I don't want Polynella to fucking get electrocuted to death.
Yeah, I
I
was gonna
don't
say,
believe that.
like,
Oh my god.
she's
Fuck.
How's Amidor looking?
Okay, so. Alright. This is, yeah, everyone except Polynella. She's a fucking bee, she can evade things, she's tiny, you know what I mean? It makes sense. Let's just make that make sense. Okay, so. As you're walking along, Gleam sort of just like talking to you about stuff like, yes, I can't wait to get my sister back, and when we do, I mean, we're going to try and get back to the carnival. I do believe that we can do that. There's a place, actually, called the Beacons, and then all of a sudden, this huge lightning bolt just completely, like, it almost blinds you with its light, just smashes down right in your position. Those of you who succeeded with a 12 or above are going to take half, as the DC is 12, but everyone who had lower than that are going to take the full 30 lightning damage as lightning splashes down from the ground. Okay. Yeah, you can absorb.
I forgot about Holland's aura of protection, if that changes anything for anyone.
What does it do?
that does change it.
It's +4.
A +4 base to anyone in your 10-foot radius.
Yeah.
So that's everybody except Gleam. But Gleam has succeeded anyway. So, yeah. So those who succeeded are going to take 15. So Gleam takes 15. Gleam is literally just like, woof, whoa, but she sort of like flips out of the way a little bit and sort of stands like, almost like a Spider-Man sort of stand. She looks sort of pretty burnt up, but she doesn't look that bad. You can presume from this she probably has a lot more health than someone, for example, like Octavia, who, when she gets blasted by this, she immediately goes down.
Can I use my reaction to shield her?
Which does what?
Doesn't matter. Protective field.
How much? What does it do?
I can, as a reaction, anybody. I'll throw it up.
Yeah. What's the maximum amount of damage that you could reduce?
11.
No point.
Okay.
Yeah, she goes down. Boof. She's not dead. Jesus, she's in a, death save. The Amidor, let's have a look here. Amidor, where are you? He's okay. He takes a hit, but he's okay. And fucking, I mean, Ooglay is like a G anyway. He's fine. He does take the full 30, but he's still okay. And that's all the NPCs for now. Yeah, everybody else, if you succeeded a 12 or above, you take the 15. If you failed, then you take all of it. And Holland... you are going to take that damage as it is environmental.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've already taken it off.
You don't bamf.
That's not good.
Guys, Octavia's hurt.
She literally collapses into your arms. Like,
Yeah, I'm just holding her, like looking around. Guys,
Oh,
Oh,
no.
just out, like,
Sorry, Holland.
just out of like thin air because he's got the cloak on. Just a hand appears and like grabs her hand as I use my lay on hands.
oh,
oh, she would have taken. Oh no, yeah, she would have been fine. She would have still gone down anyway. Yeah, lay on hands. How much is that?
I'll throw down a cheeky 10.
Ooh.
Won't use it all in one go, but you know.
She sort of comes to again. Looks around and she's like, "What happened?" She like looks at everyone sort of singed and burned.
We all got crispy crittered.
She like looks at everyone else who's not down, you know what I mean, like who didn't pass out, and she like looks into Archie's eyes and she's like, should I even be coming with you? I feel like I'm just gonna be a burden.
a burden?
Yeah.
No way. You'd never be a burden. Why would you be? No, of course not. I mean, of course
she looks at everyone else for like approval. Cause
Hey, next time just dodge lightning and you'll be all right.
I mean, I didn't know it was coming. Did everybody else sense that, or is it just me? Amidor's like, well, yes, I actually know that that's quite lightningy, and Polynella just like flies over his mouth and just like shuts him up. It's not the time to mansplain right now.
Right, but you've not been here none of us have been here very long. It was just by random chance that some of us were able to, jump out of the way.
I think he didn't see me because I was invisible.
Did you get, like, really badly shocked, Holland?
I will never know because you didn't see it.
Are you okay, Holland?
Oh, I've never been this hurt before, but I'm not actually that hurt. Both exist mutually exclusively. I'm okay.
It's Schrodinger's lightning.
Flopsy, are you doing okay?
I smell a little bit burny, but I feel okay, yes.
I mean, I can sometimes just become one with the forces of nature, The lightning kind of just went through me. So I guess I'm, like, the best from this, but, like, I mean, it's really gnarly, You shouldn't feel bad because you got zapped by lightning. I mean, that the odds of that are super low.
They really are. They really are. Yeah, it didn't feel too good. I'm just gonna, like, she looks around at everyone and she whispers to Archie, she's like, can you, like, stick with me at the back for a bit? Like, I feel a bit embarrassed.
Yeah, of course. Me and Octavia are gonna, like, scout from the back. We're gonna make sure nothing's following us. That was a pretty good cover, right?
Yeah, keep an eye out for lightning if you can.
I'll keep 2 eyes out.
When she gets to you, she immediately sort of like a sort of entire demeanor is like a little bit different, as though like she's like breathed around you. Like she's been like tight and all of her shoulders have been tight, and Oogle's just gonna like cover the conversation. And she sort of like loosens up a little bit, and she's like, I know that like you don't mind me being around and stuff, but like your friends are all really like cool and strong and stuff, and maybe they're just being nice,
No, I mean, I think they are nice, but I think you're very, valuable person to have around. And I'm sure they all would agree.
Yeah, but like, I mean, I'm not trying to be like all, tell me nice things and stuff, but like, it's a real question. Like, why? I'm not good at anything.
I don't know. I like having you around. I don't know.
Yeah, but like, I'm even becoming really annoying now because I'm just like, I can't do things, and now I'm getting upset about it, and I'm like a huge bummer, and it's like, it feels like it's all I'm thinking about right now is like, how do I stop being such a dumbass?
But you're not being a dumbass, and you shouldn't think like that. I mean, you should be your own biggest fan. I think everyone should be their own biggest fan, unless they're like, dicks, in which case maybe have some self-awareness. But you're not a dick.
Really? Okay,
Really?
right, I'm just gonna snap out of it, okay? And she just like sort of smacks a little face, like a little bit, not too hard, just like sort of taps it, like as though she's trying to wake herself up, sort of thing. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna get rid of that feeling, it's not helpful. Okay, alright, she like sort of pulls a bow out and just sort of like knocks an arrow just to like scout around, and she's like, okay, I'm just gonna be helpful, I'm just gonna help you any way I can, okay?
Okay.
Alright.
And you will be.
Meanwhile, at the front, Gleam sort of looks at Aerith and she's like, is this, I don't know what's going on with those two, but, it seems the party's a bit, are you like a well-oiled team, or if you're not very confident, I suppose that, this whole entire mission's probably not going to be very successful. Gleam says to Flopsy, Aerith, and Holland.
We're pretty well oiled, I think. Squeaky clean,
She nods, but she looks a bit like, really? Okay.
I think everybody in the team has their own strengths and weaknesses. Sometimes it's hard to find the strengths, but we are a well-oiled machine team when it comes down to it.
I was talking to Lyra. What are we on about?
I was just wondering if you were all, cohesive as a team, because being an acrobat, you've got to, understand when someone's about to fly towards you and catch them, and you've got to be in tune with one another, and I'm just wondering if this team is very in tune, considering, and she, like, leans over and gives a bit of a slightly judgmental look towards Octavia, who's, like, really consciously, like, aiming a bow around the place, like...
You can see Archie like show her how to do it. Like, oh no, it's like this. Like someone teaching like their girlfriend how to play baseball or something.
Archie's got the camera.
Throwing shot, eh? Well, we've all got our rises and falls. Like. Well, I don't know. I don't usually think like this. I'm just like, well, these are my friends, and why would I critically assess them for their usefulness to a team?
Yeah.
Gleam considers that, and she sort of looks a little taken aback, and she says, "Oh, wow. I think. Sorry, Maybe perhaps I've been a bit too judgmental, or maybe it's... Well, see, I'm very focused about my performance as an acrobat, and I think I might just see things in that context, and I apologise. That's actually rather rude of me.
It's okay. If, we were all facing up against the hags, so you probably want some competent people on your team, I get that, but also, well, wouldn't you rather have nice, kind people on your team who won't, like, leave you to die or whatever? Or would you rather have, like, a load of red caps who are, like, good at killing, but, like, can you trust them?
Well, sure, but I wasn't thinking about it in that context. I was thinking about it in the context that when me and Glister were children, I would fall more often than she did, and she would get very angry at me for that, and especially if I didn't catch her, because, you know, if you fall during acrobatic performance, you can break your neck and die. So, well, that's what she kept telling me and drilling into me the whole time. But I appreciated that, because now, together, we're unstoppable. As performers, obviously, I'm not in the fighting sense, but you know what I mean.
A bit of tough love, yeah. But also, to put it in my childhood context, you know, me and Lyra, we go way back. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of the shit one, if you'll excuse my prime material plane-ish.
Oh, don't worry, darling, I'm from there as well.
You know, she's a goddess, and I'm running a carousel. So you could say there's a bit of an imbalance, but, you know, she's always there to be like, I appreciate what you're doing, and every little helps, and you're pretty cool. And I'm like, thank you, so are you. And everything I do is to serve her, so, you know, it's like a give and take.
Yes, that's a good philosophy indeed. And like you said, the carousel, you've fixed it and made it into probably its former glory. I can't actually remember how old that is. The Witchlight Carnival's been around since before I was there. And she...
Probably older than Flopsy.
Oh, it's definitely older than him. I don't remember him being there at all. And as you're all sort of gossiping around, you continue walking, and you hear in the distance, betwixt the sort of craggy mountain formations, you hear like doom, doomf, doomf, and you hear, "My queen!" as this huge, ginormous, synonym for large,
gargantuan. He's got the hat!
Gargantuan Cyclops appears. And let me show you a little handout here, because it's actually pretty cool.
He's literally dressed exactly how I thought he'd be.
Let's see here. Where is he?
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
Where the hell is he? Oh.
Is he a ranger swarmkeeper?
Well, I can't show you the handout because it shows him so massively imposing and tall. He's literally got his hand on one of the peaks of the mountain sort of crags as he's like looking and peering around with his large central eye. Oh, thanks, Stutter. Through his veiled like sort of mesh hat thing, he's peering around all of the place, and he looks towards you as a group, and he goes, "Where my queen?" He's surrounded by like swarms and swarms of bees. He's holding a large stick. Upon the end of it is a beehive that sort of swings around.
You just hear Archie mumble at the back, "Wearer? I hardly know her."
Immediately, fucking Amidor rushes to the back with Polynella, and he's like, "Oh, do look after my sweet Polynella!" And he's like gonna hide behind Oogly.
Shit.
My
no
queen bee.
Your queen bee what?
Where my queen bee. Can't make honey mead, no queen bee.
Well, I mean, based on how you're talking, maybe you need to lay off the honey mead.
Honey mead, yum yum. No queen, no yum yum honey mead.
That might be... Oh, actually, I did see your queen. She went over there. And I, point off into the distance.
He steps forward. Make me persuasion at disadvantage. Oh, sorry, deception.
Yeah, I'm gonna say. It's more of a
because
deceptive thing.
he's looking down. He can see Gleam is standing right there, and he knows that she was like helped Amidor escape.
Oh.
He comes towards you like really imposingly. He's not holding any like weaponry. He's just holding this like stick with a beehive at the end of it, and you can see he's not going to swing that fucker at you because he loves his bees. Like he cares about his bees. And he points at Gleam with his massive large finger, and literally the tip of his finger is like the size of her head as he like pokes it right close to her. She stands there with her arms crossed, and she's like, "Look, I have no idea where your bee is, your queen bee. If anything, that dandelion thing ran away." And she looks like she's shit at lying too, just the same as you are, Archie.
No.
And he's pointing and he goes, "No, you have my queen." And he's going to like reach forward and like grab her up. She's going to attempt to like sort of like acrobat away from his grasp. Let's have a look here. Yeah, she literally just fucking, like, does one of those, like, long cartwheels backwards away from him. And sort of stands here, like, to sort of cover Amidor and Pollinella. My queen.
Listen, bucko. I don't know who you think you are, but around here it's not polite to pick people up.
You
we don't be grabbing women.
You steal my queen.
Well, she's not a person. I mean, no. I mean, she's not an object. She is a person. You can't. You can't
Well,
steal.
she's not a person.
You can't steal a person. She is a person. You get the point that I'm trying to make, right? Queen bee, a person. No own person. No own bee. Bee, be gone. Bee holder. Bee. Fuck off.
He's not listening to you at all with a fucking Nat One deception anyways, just a Nat One charisma check. He's coming a bit closer. Go on.
Alright.
Okay, well, go on.
Would you like to go first, Holland?
No,
or-
you go.
Okay. I don't believe it's possible for us to have stolen your queen bee, because isn't that your queen bee right there? Can I have an intelligence save? I'm going to cast Phantasmal Force on the guy.
No. I'm sure this guy's pretty smart, though.
Okay.
He sounds very smart.
Okay.
I'm making assumptions about his speech pattern and think I might win this.
Yeah.
Ooh. He goes. He looks around. When it succeeds, he doesn't see it, does it? Oh no, he realizes it's a phantom. It's an illusion.
2 seconds. It says my spell save is 15 on here, and I don't know why.
He got a
put it as
17.
13 there.
Yeah.
It's fair dues. He wins anyway.
Yeah. He looks at the bee that you've created in front of him, and this bee that you've created, it's the same size as an orange. Great stuff. You know what I mean? You've got that down. But it doesn't have the rosy cheeks and the anime eyes, and he squints at it, and like his big massive eye blinks wateringly. He inspects it, and he smacks his free hand. He just smacks it through the bee as if to like buzz it away, but his hand just travels through the phantom, and he goes, "You trick me. You have my bee," and he's gonna go over to Flopsy and try and grab him.
While Flopsy tries to duck, he's like, "Well, if I tricked you, it would have actually worked." Is it acrobatics or athletics?
Athletics.
Athletics, cool. Is it 20?
Yep, you may slip out of his grasp and bounce away however you like.
Alright, bucko, listen. You need to stop picking people up. This is the last time I'm gonna say it.
Hey, buddy, you're just looking for your bee, right?
My bee?
Well, I don't know where your bee is, but I can. Would you like a hug?
Don't fall for it, Aerith.
Give us a deception check, because you do know where the bee is. No! You have bee. Me want my queen bee. No honey mead, no yum yum honey mead.
Well, you can't have the bee. It's our friend.
Friend?
Yes, friend. Would you like a friend?
Be no friend. Be.
To
No.
be or not to be.
But maybe you be friend?
Me bees no friend. Me bees work. And all of the bees around him sort of like hum, like in unison.
No bee.
Okay. What was that?
No bee for you. You're bad.
Yeah, and maybe those bees don't want to work for you.
Me no bad. Me bee holder. Me make good honey mead. Yum.
Me no care.
While this is happening, I'm going to druidcraft the sound of Polinella's, like the buzzing that she was doing, just like further away from us, like off to the right somewhere, while we're all talking, so it looks like a separate event.
Oh, now that you mention it, I think I heard your bee over that way.
You're invisible, so your semantic is invisible, but your verbal isn't. So can you roll a stealth to see if you can stealthily cast this spell?
Not a bother. And if I have to go stand behind Dougley, so be it.
Well, you can invisibly stand behind Dougley anyway. So you sort of travel over here, and when you do, like Amidor's whispering to Octavia, saying, "I hope he doesn't take my love of my life away from me. Aww. My love."
Hey, I'm in this spot here.
Oh,
behind you.
Hello.
Polinella, you should come under here with me.
She just like into your jacket, sort of opening.
Yeah.
Well, at least you'll never see her.
Roll me the deception for the sound that you've cast over there.
Not a bother. I'm clutching onto that fucking snapdragon for dear life. But it don't matter.
No. He's not even heard it because of the swarm of bees already around him, sort of masking the sound. And he's being relentless. He knows that you have this bee, just for an absolute fact.
I'm just going to start moving out of the way with her. Mm-hmm. Not very far away, but I'll just start.
Holland's leaving to
hit her. Best of luck, guys. You enjoy that.
Have fun whilst. Yeah, I'm just going to put a little.
I've got a new life to start with Polinella.
No.
Well, Flopsy doesn't know that that's happened, so Flopsy is just going to look into the bee-boy's eyes. Okay, fine. I'll go and get your bee. We're not going to get anywhere further, are we, guys? So I'll just
you give
go
bee.
Behind here.
You come to my house and have honey mead. Yum, yum.
He goes over to Amidor. And winks at Amidor as if he has a plan, and tries to reach around for Polinella, and genuinely can't find her at all, and starts.
What are you doing, Flopsy?
I had a plan, but I legitimately can't find Polinella. Oh, I'm sorry. Where is Polinella?
Oh, your very good young friend there's invisible and taken her to safety.
Oh, wait,
that might even be better than the plan I had.
Hold on, maybe I have a plan. All right. Oh, we've got Polinella, and I've cast Summon Beast. It's probably a lot bigger of a bee than he remembers.
Oh my god.
We've got her. She's all well fed,
The
full of
DC
honey.
is fucking insanely high right now, considering you've all been trying to lie to him and he knows you're all lying. Give us a deception. DC is going to be 22 because it's higher than 20 now.
God. Oh my god. As if this works.
Nat 20 won't even succeed on its own.
No.
Oh, yeah. He says, "Me getting mad now. Me just want make honey mead."
Well, you know.
So he's going to come around the front and I'm just going to like whisper to Archie, like, hopefully the truth will work. We
Okay.
don't have your bee after all. You can search us if you like, but you won't find the bee amongst us. We did see your bee before, but we can't see them now, so unfortunately we can't give them to you. None of that's a deception.
Persuasion.
I'm better at persuasion, so hopefully this works out.
I want to help Bash standing behind Flopsy and just nodding.
Okay. He looks at you all and he's like, "No bee."
No bee, none at all.
Amidor comes forth and he's like, "No, unfortunately, Polinella has left me." And he's gonna roll a deception. He looks and squints at him and he's like, "Left? What mean? Queen bee always stay." And he's like, "Oh, my darling love, Polinella, was my love of my life. And she has left me for good, forever." And he puts his fucking, like, stem over his head he's so fucking whatever. Mudlump's like, "Love, what is that?"
You tell me.
He looks really confused. Amidor's like, "Oh, my partner, my one and only, my companion, my love." And Mudlump looks literally like he's in a surreal nightmare world where he's like, "Love, partner, what?" He's like so confused.
Oh, he must be Arrow Ace.
Octavia's gonna come up behind you and look and be like, he doesn't know what love is? That's weird.
I mean, I barely even remember at this point.
What do you... She looks confused at you.
I mean,
you don't
have...
feel it, but like you know it, right? You've told her,
think...
haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've told her the lore.
You told
I
her
told her the lore
yeah.
as soon as I met her.
Yeah, you told her the lore. She's like, "So like you don't feel it, but you know what it is though, right?"
Yeah, I know what it is. And this guy's never known what love is.
She looks at him and she's like, "I don't know, I've never seen another one of like him before. Maybe like, I don't know. Maybe he's just not interested. Or maybe he's just never met anyone, you know, who makes him feel that way."
Maybe we could find someone just like him and set the two of them up.
How are you going to do that when all he cares about right now is his mead? Like, he just wants the bee to make the mead. That seems really logical to me.
Yeah, he might be too logic to think about emotions. Well, it looks like the queen is gone. And it looks like, the queen isn't here. Well, wait a minute. How do you feel about mead? Do you like mead?
Mead, yum yum.
Right. And is it yum yum a lot? Is it like more yum yum than anything you've ever yum yummed?
You never had mead.
I've had mead, but I'm asking you for your opinion.
You never had my honey mead. Best honey mead. Best because of Queen Bee.
Right. But basically, you could almost say you love your mead because it's the most yum yum. That's what love is.
Love is yum yum.
Yum yum in your heart.
Heart. Heart gives blood in body. And he like points to his chest.
And people need blood to live. Love
Yum
is
yum
something you
in
can't live
belly.
without.
Yum, he points to his belly and yum yum in mouth, yum yum in belly, not in heart.
It's all connected. You think you think your heart can keep beating without the yum yum? You'd go thirsty and you'd die.
he's like got his mouth wide open and he's like
Everyone needs
My-
love, I guess.
My yum yum mead. What your yum yum?
Oh, I don't know. I guess I don't feel much yum yum at the moment because I can't, because the hack stole my yum yum, and I have it back. But you know, I mean, I guess I'm just. I mean, I don't even know.
You know have yum yum.
Nope.
You
No
need
yum
try
yum.
good. You need try my good honey mead.
Well, why don't you invite
think
us over?
you know if you have my honey mead.
Well, let's go then.
You come my
Come.
house.
Yep. Come on. I mean, if everyone else is,
Me prove.
why not? I'm gonna taste this yum yum now.
You be sad when you know no more yum yum, no queen bee. Come. He's gonna start walking to his house. And he won't walk further unless you come with him. Like, he keeps looking at you to be like, come, drink honey mead. Ooglay's gonna, like, waltz over, because he's like, yeah, I could go for some honey mead.
He's got, like, his honey mead bib on.
He's got his, like, fucking knife and fork in hand. Gleam sort of, like, rolls her eyes. She stands next to Aerith, and she's like, well, I suppose we're going to go and try some honey mead. If, do you like honey mead, by any chance?
Who, me?
Yes, I'm sorry, I was just asking if you liked honey mead.
I thought you were talking to Amidor.
Oh no, he probably does like. He probably is a bit against honey. And he's like, I do not like honey mead because it is a representation of the work that the queen bee has to. And he starts going on about the inequality of queen bee work versus other bees.
I mean, I don't get to drink a lot. I run an orphanage for lost children, and you got to keep on your mind's wits about that kind of thing, you know?
Interesting. And when you're sort of thinking about caring about these children and not indulging, you turn into Autumn.
Ooh.
Yeah, you literally would avoid indulging in something that would make you quite happy and tipsy to instead care. Octavia sort of sneaks up behind Archie as well during this time and says, are we gonna just leave Holland out here on his own? Like, it's dangerous.
He's following us, right?
I don't know, like, he's
message.
invisible, I think.
I'm gonna cast a message. Holland, can you hear me?
What up?
Oh, yeah, I put on my butterfly sunglasses just to talk to you. I'm just wondering, you're coming with us, right? I'm not asking like, you're not. I just mean I can't see you. You are coming with us, aren't you?
Yeah, I'll stay a bit far away, but I'll follow. It's hard to
Okay.
get her to stop buzzing under here. I don't want him to hear.
She's like inside your coat. But
No.
there's got to a point where she's like sort of settled on your like chest plate, your like leather little chest plate. She's like, "Are you wearing leather? Or have you got any other armor? Or is it just leather right now?"
I can't remember. It's probably leather if I can't remember.
Just want to like, quick reminder. But yeah, she's sort of settled on your chest, like, and her wings begin to sort of close.
Hide armor, but yeah.
Hide. Yeah. Right, okay. Yeah, she's got comfortable. She's just on you.
There's loads of flowers in Holland's armor, as per his character description, that I just never talk about anymore, so she can just go to town on those.
Oh yeah, she's found some flowers to like nestle into. Yeah.
But none are quite as flowery as
Amidor.
Amidor.
So yeah, he leads you all to. Here we go. He leads you all to a very. Woo! Oh crikey! I can't zoom in and out ever because I end up ruining everything.
Bless you.
Right, there we go. He's going to lead you all to, and you're not all in this position, obviously, because Jesus bloody Nora. To what appears to be a sort of rundown looking broken tower thing. And beside this tower, you see this huge tree that seems to be hollow. So it's like a massive, like, oak-looking tree. It's alive, unlike every other tree that you've seen. It's alive, and the so you sort of like as you're walking along through like the mountainside region, you sort of turn this corner, and on literally like the roots of this live tree grow through the rocks themselves. It's almost like it's impossibly alive. Like this Cyclops has done his best to use everything in his power to keep this tree alive, as within it the bark itself sort of like is like an open like rib cage, and within you can just see hundreds and thousands of bees just like crawling along all the insides of it, and then within like some almost like horizontal shelves inside the tree itself, you see these long sort of the panels of like honeycomb that you can remove, brush the honey off of it and put them back in. That's this tree here, and that tree oh, sorry, excuse me, I don't know why I've put you at the top over there. You don't get in that way. You actually come in this way because you can see the opening, the front of it there. And there's also a bunch of like mushrooms as well that seem to have been like chopped open and scooped, like some of the flesh of it scooped out and stuff like that, and a bunch of like barrels lying around. The opening of this should be like here, that the front door should be there, so just pretend it is. And yeah, he just sort of like doof, doof, and releases these bees sort of like back in to the beehive swarmy area. And he says, make comfy, me make mead. And he's just gonna start tinkering around. This building is absolutely fucking huge. Like, even the furniture, like when you look in there and stuff, like he's got like a massive chair and table and that kind of stuff. It's literally like you're in Jack and the Beanstalk, and this is like a giant's house, and like the seat of the chair would come up to you like your shoulder. It's just absolutely massive. I'm just gonna sort of move you all around where you might be. I think Gleam's just gonna sort of like look around, and Amidor's gonna whisper something to her, and she laughs a little bit, but she sort of like taps his shoulder, as if to be like, "Oh, give over," you know what I mean? Like, stop. They're probably bitching about the ogre. Oh no, what's it called? Cyclops. Ooglay's gonna slowly make his way over to this.
Ooglay.
He turns around, looks at you with his very straight face. He looks like if Taliesin Jaffe was not emoting whatsoever. Like, you know, like when he's got that really flat face. He just looks at you, and then he looks back at the thing, and the fucking Cyclops comes over and he's like, "No, sit." And Ugle looks at him like as if to be like, "Who the fuck do you think you are?" And he lifts his hand. He lifts his hand and he does the Cyclops, and he goes, "No, sit." And you feel like there might have been some intimidation check rolled. And Ugle sits down. And then the Cyclops pats his head and goes, "Good owlbear." And then he starts like scooping up some honey, and he's gonna go and like mess around in here and do some stuff. "Don't go. You need try. Mead." Octavia's like, "Wow, he's not like super bad, you know? He's just chilling, making his mead, I guess."
I mean, yeah. I kind of thought he'd be like nasty. I guess he just really, I guess it's his yum yum.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel a little bit bad that we're taking his yum yum away, but at the same time, if his yum yum comes at the expense of people's happiness, he needs to find a new yum yum.
Yeah, that's true. I wonder if he'd listen to something like that, though, you know? I mean, maybe he could make something else. It doesn't always have to be like honey mead, right?
Right, it could be like wine made from grapes.
She looks around the entire area and she's like, yeah.
Or like, you can make stuff out of mushrooms, right?
Yeah, actually. She like jumps up on top of this mushroom to sit on it and like pats it so that you can sit next to her. And she's gonna like pick a bit of the mushroom off and sort of like put it in her mouth. Yeah, this is pretty good.
I'm gonna have a little bit.
He like comes out and he spots you doing it and he's like, "No, that for fermentation process." Okay, fine. Sorry.
Jeez.
Yeah. I just thought they were growing here naturally. I don't know. And in that sort of brief, awkward silence, Archie, with your huge passive perception, you hear a small voice coming from about here. And you hear it saying, "Please? Please? 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 Please?"
I'm gonna message over there. Hello?
Please?
Please what? Please and thank you?
Please?
What?
Please?
I'm gonna move on over. Come with me, Octavia. We gotta do some scouting. I'm gonna take her by the hand and lead her.
Wow, what's happening?
There's something over here.
As soon as you get to there, you peep around in this pile of in this pile of mushrooms. You see a tiny little campestry surrounded by these huge, gigantic mushrooms, which don't seem to be like animated or have a personality or anything in any way, looking very lonely and scared, sort of like looking around and just saying, "Please, please, please."
It's a little campestry.
Please.
Let's dance. And Archie starts like throwing it back again.
Wait, what? Wait, what are we doing?
You gotta dance for a campestry.
You gotta stick your butt out like that? Okay.
I take my other two campestries out as well.
Okay, so you take out me and Isolde. You hear,
take out me and Izza, yeah.
Please. And everybody starts getting down and dancing, and as you pull out the other two campestries, like one in each hand, please is like, "Please, please, please, please."
You wanna come with me?
Please.
No, well, all right then. But I've only got two.
You.
I've only got two hands. Hey, Octavia, maybe you want to share the collection?
If you don't mind if I do. She crouches down and holds her hand out, and it just like bump jumps onto her palm. Please, 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 please.
Ah, he's cute, isn't he? What do you want to call him?
I think his name might be Please.
Well, this one says me, and its name is Mimi. This one says Isolde, and its name is Izzy. So you gotta get like a name that's kind of like based on it.
like Plesiosaurus.
That's perfect.
Nice. Come on, little Plesiosaurus.
Oh, but don't show that giant, because he'll probably try and ferment them. What is it with people and trying to ferment these little guys? First it was Bavlorna, then it was my ex, and now it's this guy.
Oh yeah, she's like, I don't know, but it's great that we can take them along, right? Come with me, little
Exactly,
Plesiosaurus. You're in the family now.
Aw.
Meanwhile, what's everyone else doing whilst Archie, Octavia, and the Campestries create their own little adoptive family?
Flopsy's going to have a weird little rant to Aerith for a second. When they arrive and survey the area. He's just got like a bit of a chip on his shoulder before he finally comes out with, back at the carnival, we would make things or perform things, and we had full control over how our things were used and done. I would trade things for my cupcakes, and I would feel accomplished with that because I made them and traded them. Is it not strange to you? Is this how this place works? That the bees are the ones making everything, and he seems to be the one reaping all the rewards?
Well, it's weird. Aerith's gonna look over to the bees. The bees, I don't know how hard it is to tell if bees are suffering, but do the bees, I guess, kind of look overall happy?
When you look at these bees, there's not really much reason to do an insight check or even an investigation or perception or anything like that, because they just look like normal bees in a hive. But you do sort of question the fact that, well, where are the flowers around here? Like, how are they going to get their pollen, and how are they going to bring it back here anyway? Like, they must be working overtime to try and produce a lot of honey. But, like, you probably then can imagine that his honey is a bit scarce, hence why he cares very much about having his queen. So, yeah, they are working hard. You're not quite sure where they're getting all of the pollen from. But they just look like normal bees. Like, you can't tell their emotional state.
Well, I think of it that, there's two sides to every coin, and I think that, Pollinella and Amidor, they have a love, and that love is amazing and genuine. But I also think that Pollinella has that hive is a family, and I think they were happy before, and now maybe they're unhappy without Pollinella. So it's like a weird situation where you can't. We don't want to take Pollinella because that'd make Amador unhappy. But maybe all these bees are unhappy because they're missing Pollinella. I don't know. We're just thinking.
There may be a simple solution to that. I mean, happiness does factor into it, but the main thing I'm seeing is that the bees themselves are the means of production here, and they have no say over the final product of what they're doing, and it just seems that nobody has any control here. We could give them that back. Whether they're with Pollinella or not, they could find their own place to do what they do and have full control over everything that comes from it.
So
what are you saying? I'm saying that back when I was at the carnival and I was making the cupcakes and giving them away, that was the only time I felt that I was fulfilling something that I had control over. And there's not been any of that anywhere that we've gone recently. And to see it so flagrantly, I can't say that as Flopsy for some reason, just exampled right in front of me, it, quite frankly, it's bloody annoying, pardon my Elvish. I say we give it them back.
So, do you think we should try to talk to the beekeeper, or just like wrest control of it? Because I mean, I agree, Flopsy. I think the bee should be free. So, how do you want to do this?
The beekeeper looks pretty big, doesn't he?
I mean, yeah, but I mean, we faced hags. I don't think the beekeeper would be. You know, I don't want to. Don't you think there's been? Maybe there's a way we can do this without violence. I mean, all of our solutions thus far have been, you know, fight, fight, fight. But after being happy me for a while, you know, it's kind of like maybe we can do what a mother should and teach him the right thing to do.
Do you really think we're going to be able to parent the beekeeper?
At that, he emerges with a tray. And he's being really careful as he like steps over the mushrooms to not trip with this tray. He brings it over here to this large flat mushroom and pops it on top, and he's like, "Mead, you have gift from me." And he puts a bunch of the mead drinks here. Amidor's like, "Oh, thank you. Don't mind if I do." He picks it up and pours it onto his head. He sort of shakes it around and is like, "Well, now that I've tried it, I can say that I'm not being too judgmental about it, considering, you know, one can't really have an opinion politically about this situation if not trying it, and I will say that it didn't live up to my standards." The fucking Cyclops just sort of, like, looks confused at him. Gleam's like, okay. She has a sip and she's like, "Oh yes, that is actually rather sweet and nice, but I'm not sure it's worth all this. Who knows?" Excuse me, Flopsy, was that your name, Aerith?
Yes.
Yes.
Where's the other one? The young boy?
No, he's probably invisible somewhere.
Okay, Holland, if you're around here, then I guess I'll put a drink on here for you to try.
Is it a Blue Lagoon honey mead?
It's got a bit of a hint to it. Octavia comes over and she's like, "Oh, yum." Please.
I'm gonna pour in a little bit, and I'm gonna test it for myself.
Would you like one, Flopsy? I'm not much for drinking usually.
It was stated that the honey mead is a gift, so we have to give back for a gift, don't we?
Yes, I suppose we do.
Flopsy's gonna go over to the honey mead, pick up a cup, and walk over to the bees to give them a gift for making it for him.
Gleam watches you do that, and she sort of like rolls her eyes at you. And she comes over to Archie and Octavia to have like a little bitch sesh, and she's like, "You know that you don't always have to do that. Like, people are always, you know, oh, we forgot to give gifts and things and whatever, and you don't actually have to. What's they going to do about it? I'm not giving him anything. He said it was a gift, so in my world, it's a gift, and that's, you know, I am from my world. I'm not going to pretend that I'm not."
Well, sure. I mean, I guess you've had a bad experience with the rules, really. So I can understand why you don't want to follow them, but the rules were set in place by good people. It's just when bad people start getting hold of them, they make them into some silly games, and they start doing mean things and take whatever excuse.
Well, while they're in charge, I'm not following them. Sorry, but...
Yeah.
Flopsy, when you put this cup of honeymead into the bee area, a few of them swarm around it, like sort of creating like a coat of bees around it, and they are like sort of like dip in and like sort of like rub their little feet together and sort of taste it and everything. And after a while, like, you sort of see them, like, as they emerge and start to fly around, they're flying a little bit lazier and it's a little bit, like, not as efficiently. A few of them actually start, like, floating over towards Amidor and, like, landing on his head. And Amidor's, like, trying to move them away. And he's like, oh, no, please don't. That's my head. And he's, like, trying to run away from them, but they keep following him. But yeah, it's like, somebody, can you tell them to, and the fucking Cyclops is just drinking the mead, like, yum, yum.
Bees, leave him alone!
The bees just follow him and, like, keep harassing him.
Oh, this isn't good.
Oh, please, I've had enough. I don't want to. He's going to hide.
Enough.
He's going to hide underneath Ooglay's body, and like slide his legs right under his like front, and poke out so it looks like Ooglay's got like a dandelion head like on his chest, and he's just going to sort of hide under there. Ooglay swats at the bees every time they come near.
I'm gonna cast Speak with Animals on these bees. Hey, listen, punks.
Hey, listen. Hey.
Yeah, what have you got to say?
Hey. Holland, yee. Moo. Ha. Hey, listen.
Right, I know, right? But, like, a whisper in this bit. That guy, he's dating your mom? It's kind of weird that you'd want
to... Yes, mummy, bees, pollen.
Hey, do you guys, like, even want to be here making, like, mead for this guy?
Bees, here, bees, pollen.
Right, but have you ever been to, like, hither?
Roll me an animal handling. The bees. They stop harassing Amidor and they like sort of swarm into a little circle and like a little cloud, and they are listening to you because they're interested in what you're saying. But speak with animals. Speak with animals does not change the intelligence of the animal that you're speaking to, nor does it change their like natural inclinations. So yeah, they listen to you, and every other thing that you say, they just sort of repeat it, and like it seems as though they're agreeing with you because they're being affirmative in their responses.
They're just yes men, though.
They are yes men. Yeah.
Archie.
Yeah.
Can you hang on? Holland, Holland, we need to talk to you. Can you come over here? I don't know where you are, but can you come here?
Why'd you walk over there? I think Holland's like over here, and Archie points over there. Archie, who's never once known where Holland is.
I don't know where. I just like we came in over there. I don't know if Holland's moved or what, so I'm just gonna assume they're like somewhere over here or maybe
Skipper's
there.
always wiggling around, you know.
Yeah.
That's why we call him Skipper.
Holland.
What?
Oh Jesus, where are you?
Around?
Can you come here? I mean, I don't know if you're gonna actually be here, but I wanted to. Me and Flopsy had an idea. Well, more Flopsy's idea, but you know.
Maybe I'm already there.
Oh.
Maybe I'm above your head. Maybe I'm back here. I mean, shit. Okay, fine.
Thank you, Holland.
Wait.
Flopsy suggested. Actually, Flopsy, tell him what you were telling me about.
Well, I don't really like seeing this man taking advantage of all of the bees. Obviously, Pollinella didn't want to be here, so I'm assuming the other bees would probably be much happier, you know, in a place with flowers rather than tucked away in a dank tree. I feel we should give them control over what they want to do and release the bees.
Well, I mean, it's their hive. It's where they live. There's not like a gate, and they are free to leave. But all their senses and pheromones are telling them that that's their house. But I think maybe the problem is like a little bit more, complex, but also a little bit more simple in the same way. Like, bees need flowers, and flowers need bees, and obviously it seems like there's a garden in this castle that's name I keep forgetting. Maybe, like, if we brought if when we go there, maybe we could bring this guy. Maybe he could just, like, make some mead. I don't know, because it just seems that it's Pollinella that doesn't like it. The rest of the bees seem like bog standard bees, not quite as regal and special as Pollinella.
Yeah, when
and
you
I
look
don't
at
mean
the other
that-
bees, they do not have anime eyes.
Like, look at their eyes. They're not, like, big. They're just regular bee eyes. So I think maybe, like, we could consider these bees as just, like, regular bees, and in which case, I guess beekeepers, they don't look hurt, There's no reason why they don't look ill. They just look healthy, as healthy as you can be. And honestly, in these sort of conditions, like, look at where we are. You'd have to be a pretty damn good beekeeper. I think maybe he could do some learning, and I think maybe he could learn not to treat Pollinella like an object. But if Pollinella turned to the guy whose name I keep forgetting,
Him?
the dandelion.
Oh,
Dandelion.
Amidor, right, yeah.
Amidor.
Mm.
Amidor, if you want to go to the garden so you can be somewhere comfortable with Pollinella, why don't you take this guy? It's a fact that, like, bees produce more more honey than they need.
Want to bring him back to the gardens of the palace?
Yeah.
I hadn't considered it. He's a bit large, he'd stomp around and probably cause a bit of disruption. Maybe we could build him some sort of shed. I don't know.
A little shed a big shed, really. But yeah, then he'd have his honey, and the bees would have their flowers, and, well, you and Pollinella would be in the gardens where you want to be. And I think that's a solution that's nice and works for everyone. It might not be as heroic as being the savior of the bees, but it also doesn't take someone's yum-yum away from their tum-tum.
I think that solution does sound the best. A partnership of sorts where everybody gets the best. How do we explain this to the beeholder?
I can try. I speak to children all the time.
Real
You
quick,
try that, Aerith.
those who drank the honey mead, make a con save.
Bloody Nora. Does that Campestri have to make a con save too?
The Campestri didn't drink any.
No, I just poured some on him.
Okay.
Flopsy would have had a sip after sharing it with the bees.
Oh, wow.
Flopsy's doing really good today.
Yeah, Flopsy's been... Oh. And Amidor. Ooh. No. Okay. Those who succeeded a 10 are going to realise that this is extremely strong, like, alcoholic-wise. The sweetness of the honey, though, masks the sharpness of the alcohol. But those who failed, which is Gleam, Amidor, Archie, and... Wait, where the fuck is... Octavia succeeded. She can take it like a champ. Gleam, Amidor, and Archie are all gonna suddenly feel like this has just hit you. So, like, when you're out on a night out and you go to the toilets and you sit down and you realise, oh god, I am drunk. Like suddenly really, really drunk. And it's not like just you've had one drink. It feels like you've been drinking like pretty much all day. And you see that Gleam over here is sort of like leaning against the fucking mushroom, and you see she's like sort of like holding her head a little bit, and she's like, "Well, that's much stronger than I anticipated." And Octavia's like, "What do you mean? Is it?" And she's gonna take another drink just to like make sure. Yeah. Archie, you're fucked.
Yeah, no, I'm just
Yeah.
walking around in a straight line.
Octavia's still drinking it, and she's fine. She's absolutely fine.
Archie, are you okay?
I'm just walking in.
Yeah, you you get it, don't you? You understand me, don't you? That you you and me are like, we understand what's going on here. That's very strong. It's not just me.
It's stronger than I am.
What's this all about? What is this? Aerith will take a sip of her cup.
Yeah, make the con save. You're
Oh my
fine.
God.
You're just like Octavia. You're like Octavia's like, I don't know. It's tasty. It's nice.
Aerith nudges Octavia lightweight.
Hey guys, do you drink much at all? Like to Archie.
I don't really drink.
It's very Octavia, it's very important to stay hydrated and make sure you're drinking plenty every day.
Yes,
hey, Archie.
I could do with the water right now, actually, if anyone's got something to drink instead.
I'll hand Gleam a bottle of fizzy orange liquid.
She literally reaches out with both of her hands as she like leans towards you. She's like, "Oh, thank you so much," and she just dunks her fucking mouth and it just like drinking it. And like spills down both corners of her mouth, and she like pats you on the shoulder and she's like, you're a good one. You're a good one. That's what you are."
I think you need to go sit down. Why don't you go lay on Oogle? His fur is really soft.
That's the soft.
Oh.
That's a soft. I'll bear that. This is a soft.
Archie,
Oh.
I think you should go have a seat for a minute too. And Aerith looks like she's very hard trying to suppress a laugh.
A seat for a minute.
Are you
Yeah.
okay?
Who's a minute?
Octavia, can you go take Archie over to Oogle, maybe, please?
And very suddenly, like all of a sudden, there's a huge like crack in the atmosphere, and what appears to be a 5'7" blue genasi rumbles out of the atmosphere and falls down onto the fucking top of this like honeymead.
Yeah.
She like rolls over like and she's like, "You fucking, I can't wait, where?" And she's looking around and she's like, "Oh, honeymead." She like reaches over to like take one of the honeymeads and then immediately just fucking vanishes.
What the fuck?
Well, that
Hello? Oh, she's gone.
Did we all see
was
that?
weird.
Was that Phoenix?
It looked like a genasi or like an. I've seen those before. They're really, like a blue person, a blue girl.
Why was she dressed like she'd just been walking around in Winterland?
I don't know. It's weird things happening around here, I guess.
Yeah. Stranger things have happened. There was something about Amidor. I can't remember. Oh, a minute. You got a minute, but he's called Amidor. So just remember that.
Yeah, that's his name.
I'm gonna go talk to Mr. Beekeeper. You have fun with that, Archie. I don't know what the hell just happened or who that was.
Archie's gonna just sit down next to Octavia and just look at her and smile, like just a
Octavia's
really goofy smile.
She's gonna sit on the floor next to you as well, but she's definitely like the most straight-backed, like together person who's just like putting her arm around you. Yeah, everything's gonna be fine. You're okay.
She just snuggles into her, just like puts her head on her lap.
Octavia doesn't like really reciprocate with that as much. She's sort of like allowing you to be drunk, but yeah. So Aerith walks up to the fucking Cyclops, who is on his like 5th already.
Hey, what's your
Mm.
hey, little guy? What's your name?
Mudlump.
Mudlump. That's a really cool name, but
Honeymead,
So-
yum, right?
yes, honeymead, very good. Maybe a little strong, but you know, for a Cyclops, I guess that kind of makes sense.
Big con.
Hey, well, so you know that you understand what I'm saying to you, right?
Yes, me know. Me have ear. 1, 2.
Yes, good job. Well, so you know a lot about bees, right?
Bees, good work.
And you know how bees like flowers, right?
Not
Well-
many flower here. And he points
Well-
at Amidor and goes, him flower, yes. Stay.
Well, I had a better idea that might. You don't seem like you seem like a really nice person, Mudlump.
Roll me persuasion with advantage suddenly. Whoa. He literally opens his hand and the glass that he's holding just smashes on the floor as he's like completely in shock that you've said he's a nice person. And he goes, me? Nice? Good?
Yeah.
Me good like good honey mead?
Yes.
Oh,
Me you yum yum?
oh.
Come here, buddy. And Aerith will hold out her arms to Mudlump.
He like opens his massive giant hands and like widens his arms and he like looks at you and then he like sort of tilts his head and like looks and he's like, how am I gonna do this without like hurting you? And he like scoops his hands together and like his hands are so large that like you fit within like his palm, you know, like he can lift you up and he like King Kong lifting up the girl. He like looks right close and you are so close to this gigantic eye. This eye like a dome. Like this eye is probably like half the size of you, you know.
And Aerith will, at that point, just like wrap her arms as far around as she can to like basically hug Mudlump's nose. And you've been up here taking care of bees all alone, haven't you?
Me lonely.
No. Well, what if I told you there is a place where a place filled with all kinds of flowers? It's beautiful. There's sunlight. All of your bees could be happy.
Happy bees.
You could be happy.
Oh.
Happy me
Happy you.
and you.
Me?
Me and you. Yum yums.
Oh, I ship it.
We can talk about it.
Yes, we talk. We talking now.
But, Oh no! This is not what I wanted!
Was that not obvious?
You know, yeah, I love everybody, Mudlump, and that includes you.
He points at everyone, like he's got you in one hand and with his other hand he like points at everybody and he goes, All these yum-yums, you yum-yums?
They are my yum-yums, and they are family.
Family.
You could be a part of that.
Hmm.
You don't have to be lonely anymore.
He's like considering it as though he's never thought about this entire way of life ever. In this place, house, you stay. All stay my house.
Well, Mudlump, you want to... Do you want to be family?
Yes, me want yum-yum everyone.
And what if I told you that there was some bad people keeping you from your yum-yums?
Huh? He looks around the whole place. Bad people. No. Ugh. Yuck yuck.
Do you want to help us?
Yes.
Well, we can't stay here because those people are they're hurting all of our yum-yums.
No. Yuck yuck people. Me help.
Yeah. You help?
Yes.
So you'll come with us?
Where? Garden? Flowers?
Eventually. Aerith points to the giant the tower, right? Isn't that where Endolin is?
Mm-hmm. You can always see the castle from wherever you are.
Aerith points to the castle as she stands on the Cyclops' hand, and is like, yuck yuck over there.
Oh, he like looks and he shields his eyes from the castle. Oh, scary dark. Scary
Yes.
dark shadow.
Scary dark shadow is hurting yum-yums, and you wanna help us, right? Aerith puts on the biggest puppy dog eyes ever.
But what bees? He points at the bees.
I have an idea. Amidor.
Yes.
Amidor here, Flower, help you take care of bees while you help us. Flower good for bees after all, right?
Are you insinuating that I stay behind and get harassed by these bees? Because I do not consent to such nonsense.
Amidor? Well, this is, you see that Mudlump here, he's big and strong and really nice, and he's gonna help us take down everybody who's like, mean, and he points again to the tower. He can help us rid this land of those three. You know what I'm talking about.
Well, why, of course. But as can I. When he whips out his rapier, he looks very weak. We should all stick together. Mudlump says, me no leave bees. Bees my yum-yums, bees make my yum-yums.
Okay, I understand, Mudlump. Can you do me a favor?
What favor?
Could you be a little nicer to them?
Me nice to bees.
You nice to bees?
Bees
Okay.
best work. Best workers.
Okay, I was just making sure. And you probably don't get told this a lot, and she like snuggles back into Mudlump's nose. I'm proud of you.
What proud?
All the work you've done. Good job.
He looks confused.
He was asking what is proud.
Proud means I'm very happy, very yum-yums about what you've done.
Good. You.
Oh, you. Drink more honey mead, sleep, my house.
Are you letting us rest here?
Yes. Me make comfortable. And he's gonna just, like, place you down really nicely. And he's gonna go over to this, like, huge, like, open piece of fucking mushroom and scoop out the, like, soft innards of it all. And he's just gonna go and, like, slap it on the ground in here in, like, piles to, like, make some sort of, like, not hard surface that you may, like, sleep on. He doesn't realise that that's not favourable at all. He's just trying to make it softer for you.
And Aerith kind of just walks over to Flopsy and he's like, and gives him a big smile. And she was like, "See, he was nice after all."
Octavia, sorry, go on,
been-
Flopsy. Yeah, go
No,
on.
I was just gonna say, I'm glad we've found a solution where everyone can be happy. It feels strange to have found it in a place like this.
I
see-
think he likes me.
You see Gleam, like, crawling on her hands and knees, like, towards the beds, like...
Oh my god! Aerith would intercept her and like pick her up and like put an arm around Aerith's shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
Aerith would
Carry her in.
Oh dear, come on.
Yeah. You carry her in and she's like, "Oh, you are such a darling, thank you. I'm sorry, I'm just a bit...
I understand. Get some rest. And
Thank you,
Aerith will
thank
give like a motherly kiss on the forehead, Gleam, pat her head.
Thank you.
Flopsy's gonna look towards the others that were drunk, specifically Archie first, but realize Octavia's got that situation handled. And then he's just gonna turn around and use message. Holland, did you drink any of the honey mead?
Huh? Who? Huh? Holland's been like completely fucking he's been off with the bees. He's been like playing a game with them. He's just got no fucking clue what's going on. There's mead here?
Yeah, when you look towards this here, there's a few glasses of mead that have been left around. One of them spilt over from the water genasi who bamfed in and bamfed out again. But,
Whoever that was.
whoever that was. Do you want to drink the honey mead?
No thank you. He says to God.
Okay, Holland. Hi, it's Lyra.
Hey,
Holland.
Lyra.
Just letting you know that if you do drink the honey mead, that you'll be fine. Like, just to let you know. My magic's protecting you right now.
Well, I'm playing a game with my bees.
Oh, that's so cute. Right, bye.
Hi.
Octavia like looks towards how Aerith has carried Gleam in, and she's like, "All right, you, come on. We're gonna have to stand up now."
Wait, I want to sleep under the stars.
Really? There's no stars here, Archie.
Archie looks up at the sky, and then she just starts sobbing,
Oh.
like full on drunk crying.
Oh, everything's gonna be okay. We're gonna get you inside. We're gonna get you some water. You're gonna be just fine, okay?
Archie cooperates, but is just sobbing.
Do you want to let me help you up? Can I help you up?
She nods.
She like leans down and like pulls you up like in your middle, and sort of like shambles you over here towards the inside. And she finds she notices that like sort of Gleam's now like holding her head and like laying down, like her head spinning. She's gonna like take you a bit further away, like underneath this. This is like a second story that's broken. She's gonna like put you under that as like sort of like so that any harsh light that might shine in at any point from the thunderstorms won't hurt your eyes. And she sort of like lays you down and onto a pile of mushroom, and she's like, "I don't know if that's like super comfortable for you, but I actually in my bag, screw the mushroom stuff. She's gonna roll out a bedroll for you, and you notice that she's got a lot of trinkets in her bag as well, and she pulls out like what looks to be like a tiny little sort of goblin teddy, like a plushy goblin, and she's like, This is Goober. He's like my
my sleepy time, pal.
Goober.
Yeah, I don't like say, come on, like.
No, that's cute.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Little goober.
Yeah, he's just Goober. My mom gave him to me when I was little. Okay, like. Anyway, he's gonna look after you as well, and if you want, I can sort of sleep next to you. We won't both fit in my bedroll, but like, can I look in your bag? Do you have anything?
Yeah, you can look in my bag. Everything that's in there is in there.
Okay. You have a bedroll, right?
Well, let's have a look.
You probably do, because everyone comes with a bedroll.
Yeah, I've got a bedroll.
Yeah. She's just gonna roll them out next to each other, and she's gonna like unzip it so it's like you can sort of like still like sort of like see each other through. Like, so you're not like two fucking cocoons next to each other. And she's just gonna like sort of like slide in next to you and put Goober in the middle of you. And then also the campestry sort of falls out of her pocket as she lies down, and it's like, please, 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 and she's like, yeah, little guy, you're gonna have to keep quiet, and she's gonna stuff him into your bag and zip it up. And zips exist now. And as you're sort of like lying down, she's gonna look at you sort of as everyone's getting sleep. I'm supposing everyone else is gonna go to sleep at some point as well.
Aerith's kind of like walk outside and clap her hands together and be like, all right, Holland, it's time for bed. Flopsy, I can't really tell you what to do. Come to bed.
I'm already in bed, Holland says blatantly from not in bed.
Holland, I wasn't born yesterday, Come on.
Mudlump climbs onto
Snore.
the top.
Me. Snore.
Aerith does that like hit hands on her hips kind of thing, and she's like, Holland, come on.
Fine.
Oh, what is this rebellious teenager phase that you've got going on, mister?
Sorry, guys. Aerith's being lame, he says to the bees.
The bees are all like, yes, lame, Aerith, lame.
The bees think you're lame. He just chants as he like walks back into the house.
Yes, I will be lame, but we're all tired. Don't be difficult now, Holland.
Hey, Archie.
Hi, Holland.
As you approach, Octavia's sort of laying on her side, like staring at Archie the whole time. Archie's eyes are just rolling around in her head. Like, she's fucked.
I was having a seizure.
Are you less sad now?
Sad?
You were crying?
Happy tears. I feel glad to have such a nice company.
Oh, isn't that lovely?
There's no stars, Holland.
Oh, yeah, I guess not. Well, you never know. Maybe you should have a second look. And as he walks away, and Archie presumably casts her eyes upwards, there's like little sparkling dust on the roof of this building. Using Druidcraft, nothing amazing, but just little twinkles.
Octavia, look, there's stars.
She looks up as well, and she's like, "Ah." And she looks over at Holland's, like, nowhere. Like, she don't know where he is, because he's presumably still invisible.
I'll take it off now.
Yeah. She looks over at Holland, and she's like, he's a really sweet kid, isn't he? Like, he must really care about you.
Yeah, he's like I guess he's like a brother.
Yeah.
Like, in a way.
That's really nice. He's so cute.
Hey, look, the stars are shaped like a horse.
Yeah, like if you look really hard, it's like it's got a horn like a unicorn.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
And as you sort of like drifting off, she looks, she's like staring at you a little bit, and she's like, you mind if I touch your hair?
Go ahead.
She's just gonna like stroke your
Hair on my
forehead.
head.
Yeah, she's gonna like stroke your forehead and like move your hair out of your eyes a little bit, and just sort of like stroke your head to go to sleep.
Yeah, actually falls fast asleep.
And as you all sleepily descend into
honeymead induced sleep. Some of you not, some of you are. I think that is where we will leave tonight's session.
Oh,
Aww.
Hey.
Alright, geez Louise, you've got fucking Mudlump on your team. What the heck? This guy is a beast, by the way. Like, this guy's a beast. Yeah, I'm gonna have to alter all my CRs now.
Oh, that was so
Wholesome. But anyway, I'll do the spiel. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Hope you've all had a grand old time. Yeah, we'll catch up again next week, and see you all later. Bye.
all of these videos. Oh yeah,
You forgot about the fucking Easter egg.
All of these videos are posted on YouTube, so make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And by the way, today's Easter egg is... Oh no, come on, please!
Hey! Alright, good night. Bye-bye.